Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're looking at number 7 by Andy Tower. This is Tower Vetiver Dance, and this one opens up. I've got a little card here. You have grapefruit in the opening, paired with a hint of a pink pepper, a hint of a spice that makes it a little bit aromatic, with a clean, almost dusty, slightly even powdery, dare I say, vetiver. Not quite powdery, but I would say dusty vetiver. That harks back in a little bit of a similar direction to something like Guerlain's vetiver, which also comes across with a bright kind of citrus grapefruit opening with a little bit of spice and a powdery, dusty vetiver. Similar kind of idea here. The vetiver in this one is also a little bit herbal, a little bit on the green side because it's paired with clary sage. And the introduction is quite nice. As it dries down a little bit more, I kind of start to lose the vetiver a little bit. It becomes more of a secondary note on my skin. And what starts to appear is this kind of lily of the valley accord, which is kind of like a muted synthetic blanket of a watery white floral coming over the whole composition on my skin. It's quite dominant, and the vetiver really kind of drowns and disappears underneath this kind of artificial lily of the valley accord, which I'm not keen on personally. It's not, I don't know, I don't find myself attracted to it, and that unfortunately for my skin stays as kind of the main accord for quite a while until it starts to dry down. The sensation it kind of gives me as it's drying down is somewhat reminiscent of things like ambroxan and isoe super, those kind of materials. I don't know at all if they're used, but the impression that it gives off is somewhat similar. It's reminiscent of those materials. So it's not something I find myself naturally appealing to, although I would say it's a those kind of notes are a mainstream appealing kind of scent. So I think a lot of people would like it, and I think a lot of people will enjoy it, and it's just I'm not particularly fond of those particular kind of style notes, even though I don't know if they're used in here, but that's just the way it comes across on my skin. So you get, like I say, gonna get a lily of the valley blanket with the vetiver kind of being a little bit shy underneath there, and the vetiver is slightly dusty, slightly powdery, slightly green, with the lily of the valley over it with a woody muskiness and a ambery kind of quality with this blanket of woody muskiness is the best way I can describe the dry down to you. In terms of performance, I thought the projection and sillage was modest within the first hour or so, with only around 5 hours longevity on my skin. So it didn't last all that long. I would say it's average in performance. However, I would say this is completely unisex. The vetiver is not dry, it's not aggressive, it's not anything that strikes me as being masculine. I think it's perfectly unisex, and spring autumn, daytime casual or workwear, I think it's work appropriate, I think it's casual, and it reminds me of spring autumn daytime is the kind of seasons and occasions that I would associate this one with. The way that everything comes together as it dries down slightly reminds me of something like clean linen or even fabric softener. Not like directly, but nuances of that kind of thing. I think the lily of the valley really makes it quite a clean smelling fragrance, which is why I suppose I associate more clean linen and fabric softener. It's kind of very, very clean, very soft, and also the way it's paired with this kind of woody muskiness and a slight amberiness gives it kind of that feeling to me, which is why I think it's appropriate for work and why it strikes me more as a daytime fragrance. I really can't describe the fragrance too much better than that for you. It's one that I'm not that attracted to. It's, for me, the lily note is too strong. I would like more of the vetiver personally for my own taste. It feels like it's an underplayed note. You get a introduction of it in the opening, and then it's kind of goes underneath everything else as it dries down. And I'm not a fan of the particular notes used during the mid and the dry down personally. However, I would recommend it to people that want kind of a more easy to wear, clean vetiver for everyday use. I think this is a good option. I'm not saying it's a bad fragrance at all. I actually think it smells, it would smell good for most people that aren't as picky as me. So I don't think it's a bad fragrance, it's just not my personal taste. That's as good as I can do. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you've tried it, let me know your thoughts on it, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.